Yeah, there have been a lot of changes. A lot of buildings on campus didn't exist 12 years ago. So, in fact, where we are right now in the University Center, this was a hillside, and even the parking lot right by us, the south parking lot, that was a hillside. So there was nothing outside of the original 3 buildings this direction south. So physically the campus has changed quite a bit, though the feeling of campus really hasn't changed. In terms of technology, 12 years ago we had no online services, no online services for students. They couldn't register for classes online. The use of technology in the classroom was much more limited. We had a fraction of the number of computers on campus and computer labs, and certainly there was no blackboard back in those days. There were no online classes. Now we have all that. We have many more degree programs, probably at least double the number of degree programs. The number of students we're able to serve has really increased incredibly. We have a new campus in Canyon Country. All of that is new in just the last 12 years. We had students coming from San Fernando Valley. I think that COC has had a strong reputation for quite some time, and people have come up to COC for quite a few years, and they continue to do so. The majority now are local students, and I think that's always been true, where the majority really have been the local students from Santa Clarita, but we've always attracted folks from other places too. The most obvious is the physical campus itself, and that we, back then we only had one. To give you an idea, when I started as a student, we really only had the original buildings, most of the original buildings. For most of the classes were in what were called then the CINL buildings. And when I used to park, I'd either park in lot 1 or lot 2.
Oh, really?
Now that's all reserved for just faculty and staff. Back in those days, if I got here at a reasonable hour, as a student, there was room in lot 1. So the changes have been incredible. There's many more students now. Faculty and staff can't even park in lot 1 in the mornings oftentimes. You know, we have to spill out into other areas, including the south lot and all over. So there's a lot more folks, a lot of new buildings, a lot of new programs. But the feeling of the campus, I think, really still is the same. The sort of family atmosphere, the welcoming atmosphere, friendly faculty and staff has remained constant throughout that time. We have a lot of folks who have worked on integrating technology into all aspects of the learning environment, even before students sign up for a class. As you probably know, and any student who registers for classes now knows, they're interacting with technology through the online services from day one. Even submitting an application is almost always done online now. So from the very first moments that folks are interacting with COC, they're using technology. In the classroom, there's a lot of folks led by James Klappa-Grossklag and many faculty. We're constantly looking at ways of using technology in the classroom to help promote learning. So not just integrating technology for technology's sake, but really looking at how we can use it to help students learn more efficiently or effectively. I don't remember the exact date. It was around 2000, 2001 is when we first started doing online classes. And each year we just have been rapidly increasing the number of classes that have been offered online. And then a few years ago, that's when we actually got to the point where students could get their associate's degree online. I started as a concurrently enrolled student in 11th grade, and I took a class from Eric Erickson, who still occasionally teaches chemistry here. He was absolutely great. And I had an absolutely fantastic experience taking Eric's class. Loved his class. Really made the chemistry fun. Especially the experiments. So it was great. Almost without exception, every class since then, I really enjoyed. The faculty were always great. They were always engaging. Helped me learn quite a bit, and so I had a great experience here. It's fun. Before I came here, I worked at USC and UCLA, and they were great jobs that I had at both places. And I've taught at a lot of universities, and I really enjoyed my time at each of the universities that I've worked at. But coming back to COC was really kind of like a homecoming. You know, I had moved back to Santa Cruz just before I applied for the job that I currently have. And it was nice. I don't spend much time on the road. We're able to really affect a lot of change here. That's something that's unique about College of the Canyons. That's unlike any place that I have worked at in the past. Now I've worked with in some high-profile positions where I could command a lot of attention to issues. But here at COC, we can really change things immediately. It may feel like to some folks it takes a while, but compared to all the other higher education institutions, COC really is fluid and adapts quickly, and that's what I like most about coming back here, is that I'm really able to make changes. If we see something that's not working, we can just change it. We can do a little planning, figure out how to improve the process, and then just change it. Then make that happen. So it's fun. Certainly, we'll have many more students. We'll continue to grow. The demand for what we do is not going to decrease in the future. The need for education from community colleges is going to continue to grow. Helping students prepare for four-year institutions is going to remain critical. Retraining the workforce, preparing for people for the workforce, retraining them once they're in the workforce is going to continue to be critical for community colleges. So, and because COC does that well, we're going to continue to get a lot of folks who turn to us to help them with their needs. We're going to have to increase our physical sites. When Newhall Ranch is built just on the other side of the 5 freeway, on the other side of Match Mountain, we're going to need to think about how we're going to best serve that community, whether it's another site there, and what that site will look like. Canyon Country will continue to grow. This campus is approaching build out, so we might not see as many new buildings on this campus, but we will continue to see changes in just the physical environments that students come to us and that we serve them in. We'll continue to see technology used more and more. The online classes is great for us being able to reach out to folks who may not be able to come to the campus, which is also great because then our parking lots won't be even more overburdened. The way we use technology in teaching, I'm sure, will continue to evolve. I think fundamentally how people learn won't change. And I don't think it really has changed all that much. But the tools that we use to help folks learn will change every year, just like they always do. So our faculty are going to be constantly adapting to new equipment that comes out, new software that comes out, and really thinking about how they can best use it in their classes to help students.